the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos. The President is joined by the First Lady, Luis Araneta Marcos. And now, the Chairman of the Interagency Council for Pasig River Urban Development and Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, Secretary Jose Rizalino Acuzar, is briefing the President and the First Lady about the 25-kilometer development commercial walkway that will connect Manila Bay and Laguna de Bay through Pasig River. Joining them in their briefing is the co-chairman of the Interagency Council, Metro Manila Development Authority, Chairman Romando Artes, the Secretary and the Department of Interior and Local Government, Secretary Benhur Abalos, and Mayor Maria Sheila Lacuna Pangan of the City of Manila, DNR Secretary. Joining the briefing is the DNR Secretary, Maria Antonia Yulo Loizaga. The President is now checking the architectural model of the Pasig River Urban Development Showcase area, which serves as the blueprint for the future development along the banks of Pasig River. The President and the First Lady are now passing through the transition bridge, which serves as the focal point of the whole development, highlighting an impended route for our pedestrians and cyclists. The President and the First Lady just passed under William A. Jones Memorial Bridge and is now at the Esplanade and witnessing a stellar performance of the De La Salle Santiago Zubel Rondalia. once again, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., together with the First Lady, Luis Araneta Marcos. Let's give them a round of applause. We may now be seated. Good evening and welcome to the ceremonial launching of the Pasig Bigyang Buhay Muli Pasig River Urban Development Showcase Area here at Ermita, Manila. Again, we may now all be seated. To formally begin our program, may we call on the co-chairman of the Interagency Council for Pasig River Urban Development, MMDA Chairman, Attorney Romando Artes, to deliver his welcome remarks.
His Excellency President Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr., First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos, Secretary Jose Rizalino Acosar, Senators, Agency Secretaries, Metro Manila Mayors, fellow public servants, and esteemed guests, good afternoon. Executive Order Number 35, Series of 2023, under the instructions of our President, led to the creation of the Interagency Council for the Pasig River Urban Development, composed of DHSUD as Chair of the Council and MMDA as Vice Chair, and different agencies as members. The Pasig River Urban Development is a priority project of the administration under the guidance of our dear First Lady, consisting of initiatives to rehabilitate and enhance the quality of life along the banks of the Pasig River, its tributaries, and surrounding communities. The government now is leading this drive with minimum financial exposure, fueled by our collective efforts with the private sector. Previous attempts have been made to revitalize the Pasig River, yielding varying degrees of progress. The experiences from this past have provided valuable insights that guide our actions this time, culminating into this event. I now have the privilege to welcome you all today with great enthusiasm and pride as we gather to inaugurate the initial result of our hard work, the showcase area for the Pasig River Urban Development. This showcase area in front of you is more than a concrete structure and green spaces. It sends a powerful message that we are committed to creating a metropolis where every resident can thrive and where nature and development can coexist harmoniously. We are committed not only in enhancing the aesthetics of the Pasig River, We are adopting a holistic strategy that extends beyond the river surrounding, with central emphasis on improving the water quality within the river itself. We are bringing back to life the river, consistent with our mandate under EO 35, Pasig Bigyang Buhay Muli. Today marks a promising beginning to the year, shining a spotlight on our dedication to shaping a bagong Pilipinas and guided by the vision of this administration to build better more. This is only the beginning of our transformative journey. Let us forge ahead toward a more vibrant and resilient Metro Manila and the whole nation together. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you, Chairman Artes. To deliver his message, may we call on the Chairman of the Interagency Council and Secretary of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, Honorable Jose Rizalino Acuzar.
Good evening. To our distinguished guests, to my fellow cabinet, heads of the agencies and the senior officials, to all senators and members of the House of Representatives, to all our local chief executive, to the business sector's representative, to the civil leaders, members of the media, to the First Lady, Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, and to His Excellency President Ferdinand R. Marcos. Isang maganda at makasaysayang gabi sa inyong lahat. We gather here tonight for the launch of the showcase area of the Pasig River Urban Development Project. This initiative is a testament to the advocacy of our First Lady. To realize the full potential and revitalize the Pasig River, realize through the collective effort to the Interagency Council for the Pasig River Urban Development, the Manila City local government, and the private sector. This showcase area is the first stage of our project that will span to total 25 kilometers of the Pasig River system in the future. Thank you for everyone for joining us in this event, and we look forward to your continued support for this Pasig Bigyang Buhay Muli sa Bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Secretary Acuzar. And now, to introduce our guest of honor and speaker, may we call on retired Chief Justice and Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you to our ES. Please take your seats. For your kind introduction. We have here all the luminaries in government. All the leadership of government is practically here. Led, of course, by the Senate President, our Senate President Pig Subiri, and of course, the proponent of this very ambitious but certainly worthwhile project, the SUD Secretary Jerry Acuzar, all the cabinet secretaries that are here, the members of the Philippine Senate that are present with us today. Magaling to si Jerry, talagang kinuha niya lahat ng kailangan niya, no? Nandito lahat, na-corner kayong lahat. Metropolitan Manila Development Authority Chairman Romando Artes, the City Mayor of Manila Mayor Maria Sheila Lacuna Pangan. Andito rin po ang ating kaibigan na dating Senate President Manny Villar. At siyempre, hindi makumpleto, lalong-lalo na dito sa proyektong ating binubuksan ngayon, ang ating First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos. My fellow workers in government, all our distinguished guests, our partners in the private sector, without whom we could not have put this project together, at least not in the scale that we would have liked to. But their assistance and their continuing generosity and love of country has shown once again in that they have become active participants in what we are going to do with the Pasig River Development Project. My fellow workers in government, all our distinguished guests, and I have to say, there are many distinguished guests with us here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. No river in our country holds as great a cultural and historical significance as Pasig River. Its flow has not only shaped the contours of our nation's capital, but the economic landscape of a booming metropolis as well. As the country's first nautical expressway, it brought people together and their produce to its tributaries, along whose banks settlements grew and prospered. It is a witness to the ebb and flow of our history, transporting heroes during the birth of the Republic, the courage of patriots whose spirit was never broken in the watery dungeons of Fort Santiago. After the end of the country's colonial period, the symbol of executive power was housed along its banks. For a river that has given us so much, we have given back too little. Our stewardship of this national asset leaves much to be desired. A national deficit which we have never properly erased. I am personally a witness to this. Isa po akong anak ng Pasig. Bago po ako'y pumasok sa larangan ng serbisyo publika, nandyan na ang Bongbong Marcos na batang Pasig. I grew up by the Pasig River. Today, I work by the Pasig River. I live by the Pasig River. I shuttle between the two, my workplace and my residence, by boat through the Pasig River. So when it comes to knowing the state of Pasig River, I do not merely rely on statistics reported, but by sight and smell on my morning and evening commutes. Mga kaibigan ko, hindi tayo rito para mapag-usapan. We're not here to wax nostalgic to the past or wax poetic of the beauty that it once was. Rather, we are here to blaze a path forward for this national asset. We are here to reject the defeatist view that the Pasig River is beyond redemption. We are here to consecrate ourselves to the mission of transforming Pasig River to what it is supposed to be. A living river of multiple benefits for the multitude, featuring safe walkways and bikeways along its banks, a green corridor that will serve as lungs for our city's needs, a string of parks for communities nearby. Along the 25-kilometer stretch will judiciously sprout commercial enterprises run by the best stewards and the strongest stakeholders of the river's development, the people themselves. We envision civic spaces where our children will play, our seniors will relax, families will exercise, artists can showcase their talents, and the creative can display their wares. We want it to be a permanent exhibit area of green technology that works, from solar lights to rain harvesting facilities, sustainable practices like urban gardens. We will also maximize this ready-to-use but underutilized maritime highway by deploying more ferry boats and stations, because if you build them, the riders will come. The transformation we would like to see in Pasig River are not cosmetic in nature. We will not paper over the river's fundamental problems, nor whitewash its grime while leaving the old and rotten still there. We do not want a river that is instantly made picturesque by coats of paint. We want a river whose transformation sinks to its very bottom. This begins by cleaning up the river, and some solutions are found upstream because waste disposed far from the Pasig River end up in the Pasig River, funneled through waterways which have become sewers. As the threat of climate change looms, we must save the poor and vulnerable living along its banks from the ravages of frequent and fiercer typhoons by transferring them to better homes, which they deserve. Make no mistake about it. It will be a people-centered and community-driven development, with ideas crowdsourced from experts and carried out with political will. We may never restore the river back to its pre-colonial pristine condition, but we can revive it to serve the present while preserving it for the future. We can stop it from being a petri dish of toxins and make it instead an incubator of progress and of best environmental practices. In some ways, the fate of the Pasig River mirrors that of our country and of our people. Both contain much untapped potential. Both move forward persistently, despite years of neglect. That is why we have set into operation the Pasig Bigyang Buhay Muli. It is not a rebranding of the old, but revving up of new and fresh ideas. Through Executive Order 35, the Interagency Council for the Pasig River Urban Development has been established and has been activated, with both the DSUD and the MMDA tasked to be at the helm. Kasama sa kanilang mandato ang abot-kayang pabahay para doon sa mga nag-aal sa balutan na tuwing may nagbabadyang bagyo. Kaya inuutos ko kay Secretary Jerry Acusar ng DSUD ang pabahay na tumutugon sa lahat ng antas ng pinansyal ng kakayahan. Gagawin natin ito sapagkat tama lang na kung sino ang malapit sa ilog ang siyang unang dapat mabibiyaan. Narito po tayo ngayon sa kilometer zero ng ating paglalakbay para makamtan natin ang minimithing buhay at masiglang ilog ng Pasig. Hindi po ito ningaskugon na kampanya o flavor of the month lang. This will be pursued relentlessly. Kaya ano ba naman ang bago rito? Tutukan ninyo at ang inyong Pangulo at siyempre ang talagang lead proponent nito ang ating First Lady. There will be scheduled milestones that will be strictly met from government agencies who are under orders to submit progress reports to local government units along Pasig River, to MMDA, DILG, to DSUD. I asked for a quarterly and yearly report submitted to my office because I want to see this prototype of redevelopment of Pasig River right here, right now, produced in sustainable speed and sustainable focus up to its final and logical conclusion. I have been advised that I should be cautious about linking the fate of this river to my political fortunes. That I refrain from upholding as an icon of Bagong Pilipinas Drive this project that we are opening today. Because it could be dangerous. It could be a dangerous barometer should this project fail. But I will not be deterred from placing a bet on this endeavor because the presidency is about attaining the grand and not wasting mandates on the petty. Kagaya ng laging pinapaalala sa akin ng ating butihing kalihim ng DSUD, go big or go home. So, you do not expect any half-hearted commitments, not from this president. In everything I do, I am all fully in. Kagaya ng aking nabanggit, meron din po kasi tayong in-house advocate ng Pasig River sa aming pamilya, ang ating First Lady. She has been a passionate champion of this river's revival, who has been quietly doing the spade work as is her way on this project. Her interest has been sparked as a citizen who has the river as the front yard and backyard of her present home. Alam ko naman na mahabang pakikibaka ito. Mahabang panahon ang kinakailangan ilaan dito. Decades of neglect cannot be undone in months. Kaya naman, hindi namin ginagawa ito para sa kapakanan ng kasalukuyang administrasyon. Ito po ay para sa susunod ng mga henerasyon na harinawa ang proyektong ating maiiwan ay siyang ehemplo ng ating sundan. At kapag nangyari yan, ang anak ng Pasig na ito ay lilisan ng may baong ngiti at saya dahil ang ilog ng ating kabataan ay mas salain nasusunod sa salinlahi ng taglay ng pagbabago. Mga kababayan, ang panimula ng pagbabago sa bahaging ito ng Ilog Pasig ay bahagi ng itinatatag nating bagong Pilipinas. May kaayusan at kalinisan, may kaginhawaan at kasaganahan. Paparating para sa lahat. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at mabuhay ang ating bagong proyekto na inaayos at linilinas at pinapaganda ang ating minamahal na Pasig River.
Maraming salamat, Presidente Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Muli nating pasalubungan ng palakpak ang ating Pangulo. At this juncture, may we request the President to remain on stage. May we also invite on stage First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, DHSUD Secretary Jerry Acuzar, MMDA Chairman Romando Artes, and DILG Secretary Benhur Avalos. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to witness the ceremonial pressing of the podium switch to officially launch the showcase area. At the count of 3, Mr. President, ang Pasig, sama-sama nating bigyang buhay muli in 3, 2, 1! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., and the First Lady, Luis Araneta Marcos. May we request everyone to please remain in place as the President leads the Pasig River experience. Thank you.